neighbor's window faces your yard, you might want to hear this, especially if you've got kids. This story isn't easy to talk about, but yeah, I think it's time. My wife Carol and I used to live on a corner lot in a quiet neighborhood. Not fancy, not dangerous, just average. We figured it'd be a great place to raise a family. We lived there 4 years, got married while living there, had our twins, Sam and Robbie, while living there too. They were 6 when this happened. We really thought we'd be there long term. But everything changed fast. The neighborhood was starting to shift. You could feel it, you know. More weird cars parked down the block, more shouting at night. Little things you try to ignore until you can't. But what pushed us to leave all started with one window. Our next door neighbor, Steve, had only moved in about a year before. I'd talked to him maybe twice. Thick accent, short answers. Kind of gave off that "don't bother me" vibe. You ever meet someone and feel like they're always hiding something? Yeah, that. 2 of his upstairs windows faced directly into our backyard. We didn't love that, but we figured whatever. He never had the lights on in those rooms anyway. Probably storage. That summer, we got the boys a blow-up pool. Just a cheap inflatable one from the store. They'd splash around while I trimmed the hedges or cleaned the garage. One afternoon, I was walking toward the detached garage, and I saw him, Steve, just standing there, in that window, watching the yard. Our eyes met, maybe half a second, and then he vanished. No curtain twitch, no smile, nothing, just gone. Weird? Definitely. But I didn't overthink it. You know how you tell yourself it's probably nothing? I did that. Later that evening, the boys went back out before dinner. It was still hot. Carol was making pasta. I was putting tools away when Robbie suddenly ran inside and grabbed my arm. "Dad, there was a flash." I looked down. "A flash?" He nodded, like a camera, from Steve's window. I followed him outside. Sam was still in the pool, but quiet now. He pointed up. "It happened twice," he said. "Bright white." I looked at the window. Nothing there now, just dark glass. But my gut was making noise. I told the boys to come inside, dry them off, lock the door. Then I told Carol. "You need to go talk to him," she said. Her voice wasn't calm anymore, so I did. Walked next door, rang the bell. His car was in the driveway, no answer. Knocked again, still nothing. After a few tries, I walked back. Carol looked at me from across the kitchen. "He didn't open the door, did he?" I shook my head. No words needed. We couldn't prove anything. No photos, no video. But we both knew what it sounded like, and we both knew how it felt. Weeks passed. Things felt quiet again. Then one night, something happened. It was around 2 a.m. Carol shook me awake. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. "The side gate. I swear I heard it open." I sat up, grabbed the flashlight, and stepped outside. Everything was still, too still. But the floodlight in Steve's backyard was on. No one there, just this harsh, ugly beam shining across the fence. I stepped closer, looked over, and there he was, Steve, standing at the edge of his yard, silent. "You need something?" he said. Calm, too calm, like I was the one doing something wrong. I asked if he'd seen anyone come through our yard. "Nope," he said. Then I paused and asked what I really wanted to ask. "Have you been watching my kids?" he snapped. Not physically, but instantly. His voice got louder. His eyes went wide. Not guilty, just mad. He accused me of crossing a line, called it insulting. But here's the thing. He never said no. He just got louder. I apologized and walked off. Back inside, Carol just stared at me and said, "He's hiding something. You know that, right?" Yeah, I did. Another couple of weeks passed. Then came the night that broke everything. I woke up to the boys screaming. I ran down the hall to their room. Robbie was sobbing, like full body, terrified, crying. Sam was just frozen. There was a man, Robbie said. At the window, I saw the flash again. I felt that drop in my stomach, that sinking, buzzing panic that makes your knees weak. I grabbed them both, carried them into our room, put them in bed with us. Then I went to the window, and I saw him, Steve, standing in that same upstairs window, looking right at us. No curtain, no flash, just him, no emotion on his face, just watching. I snapped, barefoot, no flashlight, just rage. I went outside, rang his doorbell again and again, pounded on it, nothing. Next morning, I filed a police report. No hard evidence, no crime technically, but I wanted it on record. We moved less than a month later, not just because of that, but yeah, mostly because of that. I don't know if he's still there. I don't even want to know. But here's what I do know. Now, every time I catch movement in a window, even at the new house, I check, because I know what it feels like to be watched, and I'll never let my kids feel that again. About 3 months ago, I moved into a shared apartment in Denton, Texas, with 2 other girls for school. Our building's layout is weird. Most windows face the hallway, so if you leave them open, anyone can see in. One Thursday night, around 11, I was falling asleep when I heard soft pop music, followed by what sounded like drilling. I paused my phone, but the sound kept going, and it was coming from the vacant unit next to mine. Curious, I checked. The lights were on inside, and I heard hammering now. I saw 4 middle-aged men through the open window doing something. They stopped and stared at me when I asked them to quiet down. 2 came closer, grinning, sweaty, staring at me like I was prey. I backed away and bolted inside, locked every door. No one had rented that unit, and the next morning, it was completely empty. I worked nights at a gas station in Montana. 2 weeks ago, around 2:14 a.m., I heard something heavy crawling on the roof behind the store. I checked the cameras. There was a person up there crawling like an animal, elbows bent wrong, head twitching, grinning at the back door. Cops came. Nothing there. Footage? Glitched. Now, every night at 2:14, I hear it again. Last night I got a text. Why'd you stop checking the roof?